Welcome to Bea Finds Joy, where we are unapologetically living a joyous life boldly. And today we are starting the Bold Budget series. This series is about to be lit. This series is about to be hype. This series is about to be fire. The goal of this series is that by the end of these videos, at the end of these 5 weeks, we are going to create a bold budget. And a bold budget simply means is that it's a budget that you believe in, a budget that is objective based on data, based on real facts of where you are financially. It's a budget that you can leverage in different ways to get you to that joyous life. And it's a budget that you can depend on. All of these things are really important as you're thinking about creating a budget because they're going to help you be successful in this joyous life. The reason why I created this budget series is not only because I need to revamp and refresh my budget, but I want to use my journey and my example to really encourage and motivate and inspire you in your journey as well. I have been budgeting since 2016 for our family. I started journaling my process on YouTube in 2021, and I've found that I have truly loved the process of budgeting, and my budget has never been better than when I actually do it. I have fallen off, I have stopped budgeting, life was lifing, and it's time to get back to what I know will be the end goal of making us successful with our finances. And you might be in that very same position. You might have budgeted in the past and have stopped and need to refresh and revamp your budget. You might not have budgeted ever before, and that is okay as well. This series is really meant to walk you through step by step the topics, the information, the guidelines, the techniques to get you to creating a budget. With this budget series, I've also created a free PDF workbook that will align with the videos in this series. What I wanted to do is not only create these videos to help you, but give you hands-on opportunities to apply what you're learning and to do it in real time with me. I'm going to be sharing my own finances, my own numbers with y'all, and you can follow along because I truly feel like when you're able to get that hands-on experience, it really helps with learning and it helps you understand where you are and where you want to be. Some guidelines for this series. So this series is 5 weeks. 3 videos will be posted each week, and each week has a different topic. Within this series, I'm also going to be creating opportunities for us to engage with one another. The thing that I really want is for this series to be fun, for it to be a simple, easy way to get you to creating that bold budget. To download the free PDF workbook, in the description box below, there is a link that will take you to a form. This form asks for your first name and email address, and don't give me a side eye. I already know you're like, if it's a form, peace out, girl. Listen, I'm not going to bombard your emails because I don't want to be bombarded either. But it's a way that I can give you updated information along the way in this series, no matter when you are watching it, and to provide different exciting things that might be happening now and in the future in regards to budgeting. Once you click on the link, you will put in those 2 pieces of contact information, and you will get a link to confirm that contact information to your email address that you have listed. Please make sure to check your spam because I tried it a couple of times with a couple of different email addresses to make sure the thing worked, and a couple of times it went to spam. So just be sure that if you don't get the email right away in your email address, check your spam and it should be there. If it's not there and you still can't find it, just email me. My email address is down below and I can figure it out and troubleshoot with you. Once you put in that information, you get the email, you'll click the link to confirm your contact information, and then an attachment will open up to the PDF in a tab in your browser. From there, you can download the tab, and then print it and use it whichever way that you would like. Also share it with your friends, share the link, share the contact information, so that way they can be plugged into this series as well. With the printing of the free PDF, what I will recommend is that you do not print double-sided if you are using standard printer paper. Because you are going to be writing on the workbook, it's better to not print double-sided so that way your writing doesn't bleed onto the other pages. If you have thicker printer paper, more than about 20 pounds, then I suggest that you can try printing double-sided. But I did it, and it's best if you just go printing single pages for the workbook. Oh, the last thing I want to share about this series is that for each of the videos, the first half of the video will be informational. I'll be providing information on the specific topic, and the second half will be all around working in the workbook that aligns with whatever topic that we're talking about for that video. Y'all, do you see that? We ain't playing games. This is we in class today. You ready? It's gonna be a fun class, not those boring classes that you had in school. We're gonna make this fun and educational. And when I say that this has been a true dream come true, I have been thinking about doing this budget series for so long. And to see that it has come together in a way that is just so powerful, and I truly hope impactful to you, is a true blessing. And whether you are watching this video, this is the first video that you are watching in this series, or you found one of my other videos and have come to this video to start this series, I welcome you to the Bold Budget series. We are going to do this thing together. I'm going to stand in partnership with you to reach our financial goals. And the first step to do that is creating this bold budget. So are you ready to go? Let's do it. This series about to be lit. This series about to be hype. This series about to be fire. All right, so now that we have all of these housekeeping items out of the way, it's time to get into this topic of the week. So this week's topic is all around getting organized. It's called Let's Get Organized, because you can't go into creating a budget without doing some pre-work, right? You gotta have the tools, the resources, the knowledge, the information ready to go, so that way when you're ready to create the budget, you got everything set, right? You're not questioning, you're not like, what, where, when, how. We ain't doing that. So we're gonna walk you through the steps. Well, it's not we. I'm going to walk you through the steps to get you to that budget at the end of this series. And it's actually not at the end of the series. It's towards the middle of the series that we'll actually be looking at budgets, creating a budget, looking at some case studies and samples to get you ready to go for your own bold budget. So this week, the objective, at the beginning of every informational section of the video, I'm going to be giving our objectives for the video. Pretty much, what's the goal of the video? You're going to leave this video knowing these things. And most of the time, I do things in threes. It's just easier for me to remember. So my bold 3 goal for this video is around understanding what is a bold budget, resetting your budget mindset, and creating your bold budget why. All of these things is a great foundation to get us ready to go for this series and to get us set up for success. All right, so the first goal of this video around getting organized is to understand what is a bold budget. I already stated it before, but it doesn't hurt to say it again. A bold budget is a budget that you believe in, a budget that is objective, based on real facts, real data, a budget that you can leverage, and that opportunity to leverage will then allow you to do the things that you want to do that bring you joy. And a bold budget is a budget that you can depend on. You want to be able to depend on the budget that you've created, so that way you can make the moves that you want to move. You can shake, you can move, you can do the things knowing that you have a budget that works for you, that works for your family, and that you've done the required work to get it to that point that you feel like it's a success. And that's what we're going to be doing together. So, goal number 1, check. The second thing that we are going to be talking about is resetting our budget mindset. Something that I created a couple years ago when I first started sharing my journey on YouTube in 2021 is the reset method. And I believe this is really important to really allow us to reflect on where we are with our budget and to think about where we want to be, right? You can't get to the end goal without reflecting on where you were and where you are currently. So the components of the reset method are as follows. The R in reset stands for reflect. Reflecting on, like I said, where you are currently with your budget or where you have been in the past. Have you budgeted in the past? What worked for you? What didn't work for you? If you are budgeting currently, what's working and what's not working? If you're not budgeting it at all, reflecting on what's going wrong, right? Why do you want to budget and what are the key components of creating this budget that's going to help you to reach some type of goal, right? So reflecting on where you are currently, where you have been in regards to your finances, or do you feel like you're at a good place with your finances? Do you need some support? Do you have goals that you want to reach? Take the time to sit down, think through where you are at within your financial situation, your personal finance, and reflect on those components that I just shared. Where you're at, where you want to be. The next step is to envision in that reset method. Envision where you want to go. Envision creating a budget, and what does this budget allow you to do? Is it going to allow you to be more in control of your money? Is it going to allow you to pay off debt? Is it going to allow you to save for a home or save for college or save for family? Is it going to allow you to pay off credit cards or other areas of your finances that you want to get in control? All of these things are important as you envision what this budget will allow you to do. Creating the budget will allow me to X. Whatever that X is, that's that vision, that's that goal that you want this budget to work for you to do. The S in the reset method stands for strategize. All right, so how are we going to do it, right? I thought about where I am currently, where I've been in the past with my finances. We in a good space, we not in a good space, we in the middle. I've envisioned where I want this budget to take me, what goals I want to achieve within this budget. Now, how am I going to strategize and make it happen? And so this is creating the plan. This is creating the budget to work for you. We're going to be walking through in this series how to create good financial goals using your spending habits and looking at your debt to create goals that make sense and that are realistic. We're going to be making smart goals, but strategizing how that's going to happen. And the first thing that you're doing is doing this budget series. So, budget series, check. You're strategizing that you're taking the necessary steps to work through the modules to get you towards creating this budget. Another thing that you can do as you're thinking about strategizing is watching other budgeters on YouTube, myself included. You can watch some of my other videos. There's other amazing budgeters that you can watch. There's books out that you can read, podcasts. Do when it comes to researching and identifying kind of where you want to think the strategy that you want to use moving forward in creating the budget. You don't got to look far because I got you covered in this video, but I want you to know that there are resources outside of this video that you can use as you strategize the plan to get you towards creating this budget. The next part of the reset method is execute, right? You've reflected, you've envisioned what you wanted, you strategized, you thought through the resources, the things that you need to get together, the tools, the resources to get you to creating that budget. And now it's time to execute. Now it's time to put the plan in action. And what we'll be talking about is different budgeting types. Throughout this series, we'll be talking about how to, make the budget work for your own schedule, your own lifestyle. That's how you execute it. Finding accountability partners, that's also another way to execute this budgeting plan for you, this method for you. So we'll be talking through this series of how you can execute the plan. But the main thing is creating the budget. That's the main first thing that you can do to execute the plan and execute this reset is actually doing the budget and being consistent in that. So making goals around how am I going to execute this budget and how am I going to be consistent in making it happen. And the last thing is in this reset method is to track your progress. Within this step of the reset method, it's finding ways to motivate yourself along the way. Tracking your progress, whether it be documenting either on YouTube like I am doing, whether it be taking notes along the way of this is where we started, 3 months later, this is where I'm at. 6 months later, this is where I'm at. You can do it on a monthly basis. You can really look at your budgets over time and to see how you've progressed, what things that you might need to change or implement or modify to make it work for you. But I'm really big on tracking your progress because I found that tracking my progress allows me to not only stay consistent, it keeps me accountable, but it gives me that win, that exciting joy that what I am doing, the work that I'm putting in to create this budget is showing success. If it's not showing success, the good thing about a budget is that you can make modifications to make that happen for you. And throughout this series, I'll be talking about ways to do that if you have created a budget and it's just not working for you, how to reset it to make it successful and to make it what you need to be in your current stage of your life. So to summarize the reset method, the first thing you're going to do is reflect. Reflect on where you are in your personal finance right now, where you've been. Also reflecting on, the highs and lows of your budget system right now. You're going to envision where you want your budget to take you. What, at the end of the day, creating a budget will allow you to do X thing. What is that X? What is that thing that this budget will allow you to do? Strategize. How are you going to make this budget and create this budget? What are the tips, tricks, techniques? What are the tools, the resources that you're going to use to get you to creating the budget? Side note, you're already doing it. Shout out to you. And then just tracking progress. Tracking the progress to show throughout the time that you're doing your budget. It's going to motivate you. It's going to encourage you to keep going, but it's also going to show that the budgeting is helping you to reach those goals. That's all you want. You want the budget to get you towards that end goal that you've envisioned. And so that's the reset method. Bold goal number 2, check. And then the last goal of this video of getting us organized is creating your bold why. And the reset method kind of helps you in creating that why. But I believe that identifying why you are doing something and writing it down helps you to achieve what that goal is. Writing down my budget allows me to be successful in budgeting. Writing down my goals allows me to be successful in what those goals are. There's like a psychological phenomena, whichever it is, that if you write things down, you're more likely to do them. And so what we're going to be doing together is thinking through what is your goal and what is your why of doing this series and creating this bold budget. We talked about that in the envision, right? What will be the end goal after creating this budget that you want this budget to allow you to do? The premise of this series is that we are creating a budget to allow us the opportunity to unapologetically live a joyous life boldly. In your mind, what would be the ideal setting of a joyous life? Think about that. And how will your budget allow you to get to that joyous life unapologetically? Whatever that is, I don't care if it's sightseeing, bird watching, snowboarding, reading 100 books, whatever that joyous life is, how will this budget get you towards that joyous life? And that's your bold why. That is your bold budget why. That is at the core of this series, at the core of why you were spending time with me every week, doing these videos, working in your workbook. The goal is to get you towards that end of living a life unapologetically and living it boldly. All right, y'all. So we just finished the information portion of the video, and now we are going into the application portion. But before we do that, we have to do our mid-video dance break. So wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, take a minute, move your shoulders, jam out. I'm jamming right now. Do, 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 do. We're dancing. We're getting ready. Every video we're gonna have a dance break time because your girl loves to dance. We're making this fun. You'll probably see some clips of me doing some dances throughout this series. But dance break is happening. We're stretching. Y'all, are you ready to get into the next section? I'm really excited about this. So this is the application portion where in every video, everything that we talked about in the information section, I have activities and guidelines, but mainly activities in the workbook that I created. I want to just walk you quickly through how I made my workbook. Honestly, get a 3-hole punch. Print out your the workbook, put it in a binder, and call it a day. You know your girl has to be a little bit extra, so I got this from Michael's. It's the Happy Planner 8.5 by 11. I think it's a 12-month planner, and what I love about this is I have my own puncher. So this is the hole punch that I use to make the punches, so I can put this in there. So what I did, I kept the planner the same. So this is May. Your girl's trying to get better at planning her life out. So I'm gonna keep this and maybe even do some organizing and things. But I have a tab right at the end of May to then talk about the Bold Budget Series workbook. This is a labor of love. And when I tell you, it brings me so much joy that I can take an idea and bring it to life. So if you don't have your budget book, it's free. Go in the description box, follow the directions, print it out. It's ready to go. It's 40 pages of love. So I hope you enjoy it. But it's kind of cool because I've never seen a series like this. Personally, you might have, but I've never seen it or a series like this where the videos then go into the workbook that you do it alongside, unless it's like one of those courses, but I guess this could have been a course. Anyway, here's the Bold Budget Series workbook, Unapologetically Living a Joyous Life Boldly. And when you open it up, I have a little note to you. So I'm not going to read it. Get the workbook, read it. Just talking a little bit about creating the workbook. Y'all are going to see a little bit of what each week is about. So like I said, it's 5 weeks. Each week has a different topic. This week is all around let's get organized. Next week will be around show me the money. The 3rd week is let's talk about debt. The 4th week is building your budget. And the 5th week is making money move. Hey, here we go. Here we go. And all of these videos that go into each week will be in the playlist that I will be creating. It will be tagged in this video. So no matter when you are watching, you can get caught up. And I'll number them so that way you'll know kind of what order that you should be in. All right. So on the next page, this is what is a bold budget. This is what we just talked about. Here we go. My printer wanted to be act up and I'm like, really? You couldn't give me just a good, whatever. It is what it is. All right. So today, if you are doing this, following along in the workbook, we are going to be working on pages 4 or 5. We are going to be working on pages 5 and 6. And so we just talked about what the budget reset is. And we're going to do it together. So I'm actually going to be resetting my own budget just like you are going to be doing for your own. Usually I get asked what pen I use. I fell in love with this Fixion 0.5 clicker pen that you can erase. Your girl makes mistakes, and I'm the type that I'm a type A that if I make a mistake and it's on a piece of paper that I need a whole new piece of paper. So this is the best thing for me. Every activity in this workbook will have instructions of how to do it. So you can do it on your own, but some of it won't make sense. So watch each video. Girl, y'all help a girl out. Watch my videos, like and comment. That goes along with these series. Any other videos too, I would love to hang out with y'all. But for right now, let's get into resetting the budget. So the first step to reset is reflect. We talked about some of the things that go into reflecting on where you are at currently and where you were at in the past with your budget. And so for me, where I am at in the budget, if I'm reflecting, is that our budget is a mess. It's just not good. It needs some work. So I think that's what I'm gonna say. It needs some work, and I need to be more consistent. So I'm reflecting on, I know that when I'm consistent and actually budget regularly, that I am in a better place. And so and I'm not doing that, and I haven't been doing that. So reflecting on that, I need to do better at being consistent. All right. The next thing that I need to reflect on is that, y'all, you know, your girl racked up some more debt. Sad day. Sad day. So I'm reflecting on, my debt number has changed, and we will talk all about that in the week that we talk about debt. Debt number has changed. Something else that has changed is that our family size has changed, and that impacts, y'all, I just cannot fathom why formula is so expensive. My son is on a specific formula, and it cost me $55. Y'all, that is crazy. Ugh. So, my family size has changed, which impacts the budget. Remember, reflecting on like, what are things that are impacting your budget currently, what has impacted it in the past. Let me bring you a little bit closer. Something else that has changed is that we went from 2 full-time incomes to 1 full-time income, and I'm part-time right now. Something else that I'm reflecting on is we don't have, when I say life is lifing, we need an emergency fund. Stat. Our emergency fund is non-existent, and we need it again because these cars are going to be the death of me that needs repairs every single month. A tree falls down or needs to be taken down in this backyard every, it seems, 6 months. It's just a mess. So emergency fund is, I don't even know what to put. Emergency fund is non-existent. At this point, it's non-existent. And if I spell something wrong throughout this series, just leave your girl alone, okay? I might be spelling something wrong, and it is what it is at this point, okay? It is what it is. All right, so what else do I'm reflecting on, what else am I thinking about my budget? It needs some work. I need to be more consistent. I have more debt. My family style has changed. Life has changed. Income has changed. Yeah. Okay. I think those are the big things. These are the main things. What are you putting down for yours? Let's see. All right. So what am I envisioning? What's my goal for creating this new revamped budget? So my goal is to have better control of our money. I'm not in control in the sense of like, I don't know where my money is going all the time. Like things be hitting the account and I'm like, where did this come from? I didn't even know about that. And you know why? Because I ain't getting myself organized, and I'm not consistent, and I just let things go. All right. So I need to have better control of our money, meaning knowing where it's going. I'm envisioning, when I was on my prime budgeting, I budgeted every single paycheck every single week, and I was flourishing. So I'm envisioning getting back to budgeting on a weekly basis. Monthly, definitely. Monthly and weekly basis. Getting back All right. I also envision that I want to really pay off credit cards. There was a moment before the past like year and a half that we didn't have any credit cards. Do we have credit cards now? Yes. What's my realistic envision for me in the next, like, say 6 months? To get those credit cards paid off. And so that's going to be that's like my main goal, is to pay off the credit cards. And then lastly, I just want to get back to having fun with budgeting. I loved it. It's a passion of mine. And because I fell off, I just haven't done it. And I miss it. So falling back in love with budgeting. All right. You doing your steps? Here we go. We're on to the next. Strategize. How am I going to make that happen? What are the things that I need to do? So I need to, go back to the basics of what I know works for me. Y'all, I've been budgeting for almost 8 or 9 years. And throughout those 8, 9 years, I created a method that worked for me. It was seamless. And so I just need to go back to what I know. I need to go back to making my budget simple, consistency. So I'm going back to what I know. I am going to, I want to read some more like budgeting books and financial books to just help align my thoughts. And then another strategy I think that will help me to reset is to be sharing my journey on here with y'all, because that kept me really accountable. Any other strategy? I think that's it. Go back to the basics of what I know. Read budgeting and finance books. Share journey on YouTube. I think that's all right. Execute. So we strategize, executing. So what does that actually look like? How am I going to do these things? So I'm going to say, like, read one budget finance book a month. If you have some recommendations, put it down in the comments. I would love them. And some styles might not work for you, and that's all right, but you figure it out. I need to budget on a weekly basis. I also need to, track my spending. That's going to be important. We have a whole video on that, so I'm really excited about that one. Track spending. And what else do I need to do? Budget on a weekly basis, track spending, and I think those are the main things to execute the plan. The last thing is to track progress. So what's going to be my cadence to tracking the progress? And the main thing I think for me, the track to progress, is to get back to my Excel spreadsheets. So I have an Excel spreadsheet for all of my budgets, each paycheck. I have an Excel spreadsheet for my loans, payoff, my debt snowball, all of that. So get back into my Excel spreadsheets for the budget and debt payoff. I also have some, think of a creative way to track of progress. I have so many ideas of creative ways to make tracking progress fun that maybe it'll be like a bonus video. So find a fun and creative way to track progress. And then another thing that's really important to me is an accountability partner. My husband's one, but I need someone other than him. So that's going to be find an accountability partner. All right. So right now, this is what I got for tracking my progress. Finding accountability program. Oh, and then pick a treat yourself. That's how I like to say it. Pick a treat yourself activity for reaching a budget goal. We'll talk about financial goals in another video, but you can have big goals of like paying off your credit card, and that might take a little bit of time, but another goal could be like, I budgeted consistently for 3 weeks straight and I deserve to take myself out to Rita's. Anyone else like Rita's? I'm allergic to all dairy, so I can't have any like ice cream or anything. But anyway, all right, so we did it. So this is our reset for our budget mindset. I think we have some good stuff here. What did you put for one of the different categories? Down below in the comments, pick one of the reset words and tell me something that you put under that section for you. All right, the next thing that we are going to be doing is creating our budget why. Our bold why. So instructions at the top. Achieving a goal is always easier when you have clearly identify the reason why you are setting the goal in the first place. In the space below, explain why you want to create a bold budget. Like we talked about, what's at the end of this series, you're creating a budget to allow you to unapologetically live a joyous life boldly, to get you to something, right? To get you to that success. And again, this success could just be like small of your budgeting, so that way you can plan for a vacation in the summer, or you can, take yourself on a self-care trip to the spa, and your budget, creating a budget will help you to do that. So for me, my bold why of why I want to get back into this budget mindset and budget consistency is, let me think. I think my biggest thing is I want to get back to, there's many different things, but I'm trying to just narrow it down. I guess I don't have to narrow it down. I guess I can bullet it because there's multiple different lines. So I think the biggest thing for right now is I want a budget so I can pay off debt. That is a huge reason why budgeting is important to me. I started my journey in 2020 with $175,000 worth of debt. And over about a year and a half or 2 years, I paid off almost $100,000. It's probably closer to 2 years, and which is great. But then we accrued some more debt. We've had some home renovations. I still have my loans. My husband's loans were forgiven. So the biggest thing for me to be able to do the things that I enjoy, I need to not have all this debt that I'm paying every month. And we'll talk about what monthly amount that I'm paying. You'll do your own if you have debt. But that's like a big one, is to pay off debt. Another big one for me is why I want to budget is to be more in control of my money. I feel like I don't know where it's going, and that's not good. And so that is a huge reason why this series is going to be important to me. And if I had to think about one other area that would be under my why I am doing this, it is because I truly believe in the power of budgeting to get you towards your goals. And so I think it's just getting back to this place of, loving budgeting because I know how powerful it is. And that's why I want to start back at it. So it's going to be regaining my love of budgeting. Okay, so I said regaining. My goal why is I want to pay off debt. I want to be in more control of my money and know where it's going. And I want to regain my love of budgeting because I know how powerful it can be to reach your goals. Y'all, that was it. That wasn't hard, was it? What is your bold why? Why are you deciding today that you are going to take the necessary steps to create a bold budget that works for you. And again, the goal is that you can use this budget to live this joyous life that you want for yourself. And so I really hope you enjoyed the first video of this series. I am elated. I'm so ecstatic that we are getting this going. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment. Let me know that you're gonna join this budget series fam. Share it with your friends, share it with your family if you think it's going to be helpful to them. Y'all, I have truly been blessed to be able to use my journey to help inspire and motivate others, and I would love to continue to share that as I keep going on this journey. So y'all, have a good rest of your day. Live a bold life so that way you can unapologetically live it joyously. See ya. Bye-bye.